Alright, so the first controller we're going to start on is the $4 controller, and this is a Xbox controller with stick drift that I bought from a thrift store for $4. Besides the fact that it has drift, it's honestly in really good condition. Like, there's no issues at all with the buttons. I mean, this one actually felt a little bad, or one of these did, but it kind of just fixed itself when I stopped using it, so. And I also had to raise the dead zones a bit because the drift is literally so bad that if I had it so low, it would just be constantly going. I don't know what it is with Xbox controllers and drifting upwards. Alright. That dude did not care that I was hitting him at all. Let me just get a kill. Oh my... What is happening? Yeah, honestly, I've used a lot of controllers, but this one is on the better end. Good job, Xbox. You got this, bro. I'm scared. No! I don't know how I clutched that. I'm dead, though. Alright, so next up is a controller from 8BitDo. Now, I've done one in the past, but it didn't end up going too well. I haven't really talked about this on camera, but it ended up getting drift. I think it was like an older model because I was dumb and bought it from AliExpress, and it got drift. But this one is one that I got for $10. It's actually worth $30, so it should technically go higher on the list, but, you know, shut up. This is the Ultimate 2C, and it has top buttons, but no back buttons, so... It's really good. It has mechanical bumpers and these little extra buttons. To be honest, I've never even used this one. This is my first time using this controller. I forgot to lower the dead zone, so my aim might be a little all over the place, but to be honest, I already know what my #1 controller is, so I'm not expecting to have good aim with anything else. It's pretty comfortable. It's, you know, it's a very, like, unique shape, but in, like, a good way. And this is a pretty basic model. If you wanted a more advanced one, you could get the 2. I just love mechanical, like, buttons. They just sound so nice, and they're incredibly annoying in call. So, I have people complaining to me all the time about the clickiness. What's up? What's up? I'm so bad. How did I let him get over like that? Dude, what is that poison? That poison, like, sold me so bad. You're still going for me? Get out of here. Now I need to see who threw that poison. I'm gonna try butterfly click on him. What's up, dude? Yeah, what's up? What's up now? Okay, alright, chill. I was kidding. Yep. If you're going to buy a used controller, make sure it's a Hall Effect one because there is a extremely low chance that it'll have drift. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. If this thing had back buttons, I think this would be the king, or at least one of the kings of a budget controller, because there's not a lot of, you know, decent quality controllers out there for this price, so. You blocked yourself, dude. For what? All for what? All for what? Yeah, that's right. Alright, next up is the $20 controller from Gamesir, and this is the T3 or Tegenaria Lite, however you want to say it. So this thing is really good. If you're on PC or Switch or you have an adapter, then this is a perfect replacement for the DualShock 4. It feels just like one. The face buttons are a little smaller, but you know. I don't think I had my correct, like, settings anyways when I was, like, first using this, so maybe I'll have a way easier chance. This feels really nice, by the way. If you've never tried a Gamesir controller, then I'm so sorry, but this is probably the best for, like, cheap, for your, like, bang for the buck. This is a very known brand, too. This is, like, the king of Xbox, and this isn't an Xbox controller, this is a Switch controller, but it's still, like, they're known for both, but everyone knows the G7 SE. I will say that this is another plus. It feels a lot like the DualShock 4, but it has like DualSense like stuff on the top. Like the triggers are larger. The bumpers are kind of unique, but I guess they feel a little... They're like a flat version of the DualSense. It's this kid again. Now, the biggest disadvantage to this, obviously, as you've seen, is that it's completely wired. But honestly, like, if you use controllers wired anyways, I think this is better than using a cable. Because I've had like connection issues with cables where I'll like move it around and it'll randomly disconnect. It does limit things, like if this got damaged somehow, then your controller doesn't work unless you were to like solder it or something. But I don't think it's that big of a deal for $20. Like if this was a like $40 controller, yeah, it should not be wired. But or you could get the more expensive one, the Tarantula Pro. This poor guy. That's the same dude that backed up earlier. I'm not teaming with you, big dog. Oh, butterflying actually feels nice on here. You hear that? That sounds really nice. But honestly, I think the triggers definitely feel nicer than the bumpers. Because they don't really have as much of like a clicky feel to me, which is I think a downside, but like the triggers are very nice. Like between... It's like an upgraded version of the DualSense. And I think that's kind of important because now it's more clicky. You can tell when you're clicking. My aim's a little bad, but it's because I'm used to tall sticks and I'm not using them for the sake of this video. If you want to try like raised sticks and you don't want to buy like a big expensive controller, then you should definitely invest in some Control Freaks, even if they're cheap ones. Because I used to use some very cheap joystick caps. All right. These are kind of weird spots to fight, dude. You can... I don't know why you're running. We just started fighting. All right, next up is another Gamesir, and this feels so nice. I forget how nice this controller is. So this is the Cyclone 2, and this is the first controller that has trigger stops. So I'm just gonna switch these on, and as you hear this, now they insta-click, so that's super awesome. I'm not gonna do it with the other one because no point. Gamesir sticks like just feel so nice. You would have to try them because they use what's called anti-friction rings, and it's where when you move in a circle, the middle actually does not scrape the like ring, so it just glides over it, and it feels super buttery. And this controller also has mechanical face buttons, D-pad, and the bumpers actually are tactile, but I think that's a good thing because they were going for the Xbox aesthetic. To keep it as accurate as possible, they kept these. They feel very similar to Xbox Series, except they're like smooth, there's no texture. Yeah, this one feels super nice. If you want to try some sort of Xbox controller or Xbox feeling controller, why is my thing out of focus? Has it been doing that the whole video? I'm so sorry if it's been blurry the whole video. If you want to try some sort of Xbox feeling controller, this is definitely one of the best options out there. And the bumpers are so quiet. I didn't even notice that. It's good for me if I want to like play quietly because I hit with the bumpers, so you can't even really hear it. Okay. All right, so next is the DualSense, and I did not know that they added support in-game for the DualSense. When I tried this controller a while ago, it did not work, and to be fair, the dead zones are pretty garbage. They're like Xboxes, but I don't feel like setting up anything, so I'm just going to use this for now. So DS4, you don't even need DS4 anymore. You can just do this on Steam. The DualSense, obviously, I still have the magnet on the back from my Pro Scroller video, if you haven't seen that. I don't like using this controller because on PC, it just completely disables your sound, or it moves it over. The DualSense is probably, it's very heavy, so if heavy equals premium to you, then this is a very premium controller. I would say that the DualSense is one of the best choices, and it's very odd coming from me, which all of you like, oh, this guy hates the DualSense. Like, no, I played controller on PlayStation for like 8 years, and I would say that this one has taken, not the DualSense, the DualShock 4, but I think that the DualSense is better. I haven't really used it as much, but I can just kind of tell by the feel and then the, you know, the size of the bumpers and triggers. You may like the shape of the DualShock 4 more, but you're dead. Block trap. But yeah, I would say that this is a very, very good controller. If there was a updated version with back buttons and Hall effect, this would be in my top 3. But the good part is, this is what Fenwo did. I don't think he really talked about this on it. He may have talked about this on his channel, but he actually went on eBay and he bought a Dualsense that someone bought, and they installed new Hall effect sticks, meaning that you'll never get drift. They're better, they're more precise, and they're just overall, you're never going to have to replace a controller. And as far as I know, this is one of the only controllers out there that you can get 1000 hertz over Bluetooth on PC. And if you don't know what that means, it means that it'll just react quicker and more responsive. Consoles, all consoles are 250. Switch might be 125, I'm not sure. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but I'd say it's definitely like a notable thing when buying a controller, because 1000 hertz usually means it's better quality, just kind of connecting the pieces. And there's a couple reasons why I would say, if you are used to DualSenses, and I've kind of took some notes from Fenwo's video trying the controller after this. He said that it's like very good, but he's not used to it, and I don't blame him for not getting used to it, because he's used to two like symmetrical sticks, and I was for a while, but I switched because of drift. I kind of just forced myself to learn Xbox. Yeah, the bumpers and the triggers are very nice. On the, you can't really, there's a very big range on the triggers, unlike the T3 Lite earlier. So if you like a more full range trigger, then this might be better for you. Oh! Oh, you messed up. He went for the jump reset. Dude, what? Oh! Oh my god! Can you stop clutching, bro? Please? You're dead. Finally! Like, nice one. Nice one. What's up? Alright, good fight. Last but not least, the BIGBIG WON. This has kind of became a meme on my channel, and for good reason. This is genuinely like the greatest thing that's ever been created, and no one can tell me otherwise. I've already made a few videos talking about this, so I'm not really going to say too much, but I will say that it is just the best. There's like nothing to complain about with this thing. The thing that makes this stand out, besides the wacky Looney Tunes looking design, is the, you know, rubber textures. Everything is mechanical. Literally the triggers are fully, there's no switch. They're just only mechanical. And yeah, the bumpers, literally everything on this will make like a mouse click sound. And there's also a bunch of bonus features, like I have the raised stick on the right, meaning I can have more precise aim. It has these extra top buttons, which have been on a few controllers that I've gone over. I literally think that this is the perfect controller ASMR video, and I might just upload one anyways. Now, if you didn't notice, this is the most expensive controller on here. I do think it's worth it if you are like a top player, you're used to Xbox layout or like asymmetrical layout, you want to like try out pro features, it's totally worth it. You're never going to have to buy a controller again because it's just such good quality. It is rubber, which can, you know, like wear down a little faster than plastic, but it's so comfortable. Like, I don't care about that. If you really wanted a plastic controller, they have other ones that do not use rubber. And there are so many other ones that I would like to try, but I know I wouldn't get use out of them, so I'm not going to buy them. Oh, dude, you're about to get cooked up, buddy. You ready? Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Get out of here. If you want to see a longer video talking about this controller, check out these. This is by far the greatest controller, and I am a big one glazer. So thank you for watching, and maybe I'll post some more videos. Thank you.